Spongebob Squarepants was born in Bikini Bottom, under the sea, to Harold and Margaret Squarepants. From the very start, SpongeBob was a unique sea sponge, shaped like a kitchen sponge, rather than the more naturalistic, rounded sea sponges. His square form and relentless energy made him stand out. Even as a child, SpongeBob showed an enthusiasm for life that set him apart from other sea creatures. Growing up in Conch Street, SpongeBob's childhood was filled with curiosity and a love for fun. He had an early fascination with jellyfishing, spending long afternoons in jellyfish fields capturing and releasing jellyfish. His best friend from an early age was Patrick Star, the pink, happy-go-lucky starfish. Together the two were inseparable, finding joy in the simplest things and dreaming big dreams about the world they would explore one day. SpongeBob's parents encouraged his positive attitude and nurtured his sense of adventure. Though he was a bit of an oddball at school, SpongeBob's joyful spirit endeared him to others, especially when he showed his culinary talents in cooking Krabby Patties during family cookouts. As SpongeBob grew older, his love for cooking became more apparent, leading him to dream of working at the Krusty Krab, Bikini Bottom's most famous restaurant. After a hilarious and determined effort, he eventually landed the coveted position of fry cook under the management of the ever-greedy Mr. Krabs. His first day on the job was an unforgettable success, and his mastery of the grill quickly became the stuff of legends. At the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob's life truly took off. His positive energy made the fast food joint a popular spot in Bikini Bottom. He bonded with co-workers like the grumpy yet artistic Squidward Tentacles and further deepened his friendship with Patrick. SpongeBob's life was filled with silly adventures, jellyfishing trips, and wild encounters with the evil yet ineffective villain Plankton, who constantly tried to steal the secret recipe for Krabby Patties. Despite all the silliness, SpongeBob always remained the heart and soul of Bikini Bottom. His relationships with his friends grew stronger over the years, and his bond with Sandy Cheeks, a squirrel from Texas who lived in an underwater dome, became one of mutual respect and admiration. Sandy admired SpongeBob's determination and ability to overcome challenges, even when he was far from the brightest in the room. As the years passed, SpongeBob became more than just Bikini Bottom's best fry cook. He became a local hero. He rescued citizens during emergencies, stopped Plankton's evil schemes, and even had a stint as a superhero alongside Patrick, calling themselves the Quickster and Elastic Waistband. Though still a bit naive, SpongeBob's kind heart and determination led to many memorable adventures, including his time as a professional jellyfish wrestler, bubble-blowing champion, and even a musical star. The Krusty Krab prospered, largely due to his tireless work ethic and his unparalleled ability to make the perfect Krabby Patty. As his fame grew, SpongeBob was recognized throughout the ocean. He was honored at local festivals, and his infectious laugh became a sound that everyone in Bikini Bottom knew well. In his later years, SpongeBob finally started to feel the effects of aging, though it didn't slow him down much. He kept working at the Krusty Krab, but he took on more mentorship roles, helping new employees find their way, much like Mr. Krabs had done for him in his younger days. Though his days of jellyfishing with Patrick became fewer and fewer, they still made time for each other, sitting on their favorite rocks or watching the jellyfish float by. Patrick, always the laid-back companion, supported SpongeBob through his transition into the later stages of life. SpongeBob became more introspective in his older age. He reflected on his many adventures, his friendships, and the lasting impact he had on Bikini Bottom. His love for Gary, his loyal pet snail, remained as strong as ever, with SpongeBob spending his quiet days caring for Gary, remembering the good old days. One day, an unforeseen danger struck Bikini Bottom. A massive underwater storm, stronger than any the city had seen before, began threatening everything in its path. Homes were destroyed, jellyfish fields were washed away, and the citizens were in chaos. The storm was caused by a rare sea current shift, and it seemed impossible to stop. With the storm approaching the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs refused to close the restaurant, prioritizing profits over safety. SpongeBob, however, realized that the storm was too dangerous and that they needed to evacuate. With his quick thinking and determination, he led a massive evacuation effort, making sure that every fish, every sea creature, and even his nemesis Plankton was safe from harm. As the storm reached its peak, SpongeBob noticed that a large boulder was about to crash into the Krusty Krab. Without hesitation, he pushed Mr. Krabs, Squidward, and a group of terrified customers out of the way. SpongeBob took the brunt of the impact, saving everyone but fatally injuring himself in the process. As the storm subsided, Bikini Bottom was saved, but SpongeBob's time had come to an end. In his final moments, his friends gathered around him, Patrick holding his hand, Sandy fighting back tears, and Squidward, though usually annoyed by SpongeBob, visibly shaken by the loss of his longtime co-worker. SpongeBob passed away as he had lived, smiling, with the love of his friends surrounding him. His final words were simple yet profound. "I'm ready for my next adventure." Epilogue: SpongeBob's Legacy. SpongeBob's death left a hole in Bikini Bottom, but his legacy lived on. The Krusty Krab was renamed SpongeBob's Krabby Shack in his honor, and a statue was erected in Jellyfish Fields, where he had spent so many happy hours with Patrick. The citizens of Bikini Bottom remembered him not just as a fry cook, but as a hero, a friend, and a symbol of optimism. Though SpongeBob was gone, his story continued to be told for generations. The friends he left behind, Patrick, Sandy, Squidward, and even Mr. Krabs, carried his spirit in their hearts, ensuring that SpongeBob's laughter, kindness, and sense of adventure would never fade from Bikini Bottom. And so, the life of SpongeBob Squarepants, a simple sponge who brought joy to the world, came to an end. Yet in the hearts of all who knew him, he lived on forever, ready for the next great adventure.